Hey all, Ryan the Tone Geek here today, and I will be replacing this ground lift device, this awesome 10-cent device, with this Lehle P-Split version 2. German engineering, this thing feels amazing, nice and sturdy. What I mean by that, it doesn't do everything for me in my life, but it does prevent ground loops and changes the phase of one of the output jacks. It does exactly what it says. It does it very well. No power required, which is amazing. I just watched a rundown of Joe Bonamassa's rig. Can't say the main title because Premier Guitar will come after me again. But it was discovered through that video that Joe Bonamassa uses one of these, or two of them actually, and John Mayer uses them, which is really cool. And let's be honest, that's primarily why I got this. Not bad. It was like 150 bucks. I had a coupon through Guitar Center. Basically, what I use this for is now whenever I run my rig with 2 amps, which is not very often, but Josh came over. One of my friends, Josh, came over to demo my gear, and we had the 2 amps singing real loud. There was a very loud and obvious ground loop. So his suggestion, and he whipped one out of his bag, not to sound dirty, one of these. And so one of the amps, we lifted the ground by using one of these. And some may say that that's pretty dangerous, but you know what, it worked. He's kind of a very practical guy on the stage, and that's what he does when he runs the his two rigs. So, I kind of felt a little funny about that. I'm sure it works. I'm sure, electrically it's pretty sound. But with my amps, I wanted to protect them just a little bit more. So I saw this kind of as an insurance investment as well. It does what it says. Like, again, the ground lift, phase. One thing I couldn't figure out, and if I wanted to just run this independently, and it still doesn't work this way, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to keep digging on other solutions if I do want to do this. But basically, if I wanted to run 2 amps in stereo, I thought, well, maybe I can just use the same ground lift function on here, just with one output, right? Because everything else is going to be, grounded. And the thought is I would take my Boss RV 500, and split. One goes here, and then the other one goes straight to an amp. Well, now I got this kind of weird, it's even louder ground phase thing going on. So I'm pretty sure it seems that both outputs need to be connected to basically 2 different amps. If you have another way of doing it, or if you have success, basically running a stereo just with one in and one out here to lift the ground or change the phase, let me know. But I haven't been able to successfully do that. Not saying that was an advertised feature, but I might lose the ability, but it'll be a lot quieter. So pros and cons to everything for running my rig in stereo, which, let's be honest, like, who really needs that? And just mono sounds fine, and nice and quiet now thanks to this. But yeah, I give it a thumbs up. It's a little bit on the expensive side, but for me it was an insurance kind of policy, so I don't need one of these adapters for my ground. So check it out. Pretty simple setup here. We have this is the input to the device, which is really coming from my pedal board. Goes in, here's for amp 1, here feeds amp 2 inputs, and here's a selection. It really depends on if your amp is in phase or out of phase compared to the other, and if ground loops are required. So again, very simple, very, no power required, which is huge. And most importantly, it sounds good, right? So there's nothing to sacrifice there. It's a great unit. Highly recommend it.